So I've been learning Python for a couple of months now, and I've heard some pretty notorious things about how hard LeetCode is. So I decided with my small, limited knowledge of Python, for some reason, I would be able to solve these difficult problems. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Bro, why won't this just work? No! So for context, I thought a good goal to work towards was to solve a hard problem, which were apparently very difficult, and I was going to leave for Christmas break in 4 days, so I only had 4 days to learn all of the skills I need to apply Python to these problems, and then I had to solve the problem, so I had no idea how I was going to do this. So jumping into it without knowing anything and where to start, I started the only place I knew how, watching YouTube videos. So after watching a couple videos, I learned that most LeetCode problems are based off of data structures and algorithms. So if I learned some of those, I could probably do LeetCode problems. Keyword probably. And with this newfound knowledge, I started immediately. I began by learning binary search, which is a really useful algorithm apparently. And somewhere along here, I managed to solve my first LeetCode problem. It was an easy problem, and it was literally just implement binary search. So I'm just kidding. I literally pretty much just memorized the code from the videos and copied it there. And that was all the time I had for the day, but I did get a pretty good framework laid out. On the next day, I just continued learning some algorithms and data structures, and oh my goodness, I could not figure out binary trees. Like, what even is this thing? How do you navigate this with letters? You can't. And even with my initial failures, I was able to, you guessed it, watch YouTube videos and conquer these binary trees and algorithms. On this day, I was actually able to solve my first medium level problems, one of which was using the sliding window algorithm, which is really cool, and the other one was using hash maps. And if you don't know, apparently those are like really useful in the answer to everything in coding interviews. I don't really get the hype though, they weren't that useful. On day 3, a new challenge approached. Linked lists. Oh my goodness, these things were 10 times harder than binary trees, because apparently this took me so long to figure out, but they were built like objects made out of classes. I thought they were something completely different, and they just made no sense, and there were no videos about how to code with them, and without YouTube, what am I? So, after that little existential crisis, I got back on track, and I knocked out 2 easy problems and a medium problem. I'd say I'm getting pretty good at this now. This was it, the final day, the day in which I tried the hard problems. Everything has built up to this. I've trained for countless hours, learned countless algorithms, all for this moment. So I logged in, picked a problem, and began coding. Okay, so after about an hour and a half of trying the problem, this was the error that was stopping me. I could not get past it. And I was getting a little frustrated. Bro, why won't this just work? No! And basically, time limit exceeded just means that the time complexity, the amount of operations that your algorithm has to do, is way too many, and it's not as low as it should be. And it basically means you use the entirely wrong algorithm and you have to replace it, which I kind of had no idea how to do. Wait. You thought it was over? I would just accept defeat like that? No. I looked up easy hard problems on LeetCode, found a really easy one. I used a solution that didn't follow the instructions, but the instructions weren't enforced in the submissions, so it still accepted it. and I solved a hard LeetCode problem. Let's go! Alright, thank you for watching. I had a ton of fun filming this video. If you want to, please like and subscribe. I think I solved a total of 18 problems and had a great time.